everybody, how you doing this fine afternoon?
Hey, how y'all doing, guys and girls, dudes and dolls? What a face.
Okay.
Welcome.
But yes.
Welcome back to another episode of Soaps and Sass.
This is Beyond the Gates edition.
Beyond the Gates edition. There I go repeating after you again.
In fairness, I was trying to make sure you didn't say the wrong one.
This is the week of June 19th to 13th that we're recapping. Why are you looking at me?
You said 19th!
Oh, jeez.
I'm like, the days are going backwards now? Wow, you just... It's the week of June 9th to 13th.
Sure. Sorry. I guess I'm just thinking of Juneteenth already. I don't know. Okay, the week of June 9th to 13th. I am your host. No, I don't even like that. I'm Mama Sass.
And I'm Baby Sass.
Mama Sass is out to lunch is what it is. Mama Sass recently had a birthday. She's a senior citizen. She's just losing her marbles. I don't even know.
Too soon for that.
My goodness.
Too soon for that. I don't intend to put you in a home or anything. Too soon for that.
Okay. Well, let me try and get my thoughts sorted. And let's give you guys a recap of the week.
Yes. We're going to keep this very short, very sweet, because this week was...
Bleh.
Yeah. All right. So, starting off, we have Bill and Haley. Bill had his stroke last week, and now he is in recovery. And so... Bill finds out he needs to do some physical therapy, and he discovers that his physical therapist shall be none other than our hospital gossip, Shanice Thompson. I believe Thompson is her last name. I could be very, very wrong. But anyway, he ain't happy about it because he's like, I don't want no nurse giving me my physical therapy. And Danny was in the room at the time. She's like, Bill, you know that's that teenage swimmer who, broke a neck? Well, Shanice is the one who got him walking again, so I think you should shut up and let Shanice help you. And he's like, okay. So, yes, so Shanice is Bill's physical therapist. He's doing all right. He's reaching his milestones that he should be reaching. But he's still not keen on being in the hospital and doing physical therapy. So Dr. Montgomery, or Madison, needs a way to motivate him, and Haley's like, oh, I got something to motivate him. And after she leaves, Haley pulls up this little slideshow she made, basically trying to motivate Bill to be there for the future and be there for his future baby and possible other future children.
Yes.
And yeah, so he sees that, and he's like, yeah, a future. I want to be there for that. So the motivation seems to have worked. In the realm of Martin, he is having more nightmares about whatever incident that happened to him, which we discovered happened 2 years ago. So it's a fairly recent incident. I think we all assume this happened when he was like a teenager or something.
Oh, well.
But anyway, so he's having more nightmares, and after having a discussion with one of his employees or staffers, he has a flashback in the middle of said discussion, and it freaks him out. So he decides to go to his mom, Nicole, and, talk to her about it. He doesn't give her many details because he keeps it vague. But she basically says, you need to see somebody, and it can't be me because I'm your mother, obviously. But you need to see someone. Oh, excuse me. And in the end, he heads over to the club, and he speaks with Vernon, and tells Vernon how he told Nicole how his nightmares are becoming more vivid and he's having them when he's awake. And Vernon's like, 1, I can't believe you told your mother. That was stupid.
Yep.
2, the only person you should be confiding in is me, but don't worry about it. The person who's been saying all the things in your dreams, like, let's see what color is your money, we paid him off. He's off wherever he's off, and I got people watching him. So if he were to come back, I would know. And while this is all going on, you have the still shady white man who's been following Martin around and has his temporary job at the country club so he can spy on Martin. Comes up behind Martin when Vernon's off taking a phone call and leans over into his ear and says the phrase, let's see what color's your money. And this freaks Martin out, and Martin confronts him And the guy's like, I asked if you wanted your bill. I don't know what you're talking, like, completely playing dumb. Anyway, Martin's like, something's going on, something's not right, but I gotta figure it out. I feel like I'm losing my mind. And then later, when he's leaving, he ends up draping man up, shady white man to the wall, and asking him who he is, what he's doing, why is he saying things, and being shady, essentially.
I'm not convinced that he did that. I think it's another one of his in-head hallucinations, because it was just so random and out of nowhere. So, anyway, sorry, continue.
Then on to the little Leslie. So Jacob managed to get the second warrant to search Leslie's house or apartment after Kat had suggested the possibility of of Leslie moving the helmet and gloves because she knew you were going to come at some point and, you know, move it, you do the search, moves it back, none the wiser. So Jacob got the warrant, he searched, he did find the helmet and the gloves. Now he just needed to get a DNA match, but he needed a warrant for that, and the judge was not granting him the warrant because he's like, the fact that it took a second warrant for you to find this? Nah. So Kat decides to come up with a plan, and she asks Mona for help in completing this plan, in which Mona invited Leslie to Orphe Jeans to have a sit down and chat, and brought over donuts and everything, and Leslie kind of messed up her face a little bit, got a little food on the corner of her mouth, so when Leslie wiped it away, that gave Kat what she needed, which was a sample. And in the end, she told Jacob, like, here, you got your sample, go, we are in public property, go do what you will. And so Jacob's like, Kat, your methods are sus, but I won't question them right now. And so he goes off with his sample to get it tested. And hopefully it's a match, which we all know it will be a match, but he does not know that. On the other front, after finding out that the gloves and helmet were back in her house, Leslie talked to Eva and was like, do you really want me to go to jail that bad? And she's like, no, I love you, and it's because of that love I would never want to see you in jail, so no, I don't know how the gloves and the helmet got back here, but I can promise you it wasn't me. Later in the week, Kat met up with Ted, and they were talking, and he offered her a job at his practice as the new, I guess you could say, manager, I guess.
Office admin?
Yeah, office manager, which is currently Kat's job. But since Kat has her own business, she'll be taking over and all this stuff. And Ted's hope is that by having Eva take Kat's job and Kat having to train her in basically everything she does, from HR, payroll, all this jazz and stuff like that, they will get closer. I don't know how it's going to work, but, you know. And Eva accepts the job. And Carlton, who is Ted's partner at the practice, is like, welcome aboard. I'm interested to see how that's going to play out with Carlton, because I'm like, there's something there.
Do you think there's something sus about him?
Not sus, but it was just he was interesting when we first got introduced to him at the engagement anniversary party. So I'm like, don't go dating Eva. But I don't know, I'm weird like that. And then lastly, and I briefly forgot to mention that in terms of Martin, Smitty had to write a piece on Detective Malone, Jacob's partner, and he was interviewing him and was asking a lot of questions about Malone and his connection to Joy Armstrong, which got Malone a little, you know, sus, and was like, okay, this interview's over and you shouldn't be throwing stones in a glass house while you live in a glass house. And Smitty's like, what are you talking about? He's like, well, you're the investigative reporter, so investigate. Anyway, moving on. Finally, we have Derek and Ashley. Really, again, no one really cares about, but Ashley is freaked out because Derek had initially had plans to hang out with his roommates, but then switched up and asked Ashley to go out to dinner. Ashley, as I was saying, was freaked out because she thought he was going to break up with her when it was quite, in fact, the opposite, and Derek proposed, but Ashley said no. She said it wasn't the right time, she wasn't ready, she couldn't do it, and this broke Derek's heart. He's like, I love you, I know I love you, and I know I want to be with you, but you just keep, jerking me around, playing me for a fool. So we're done. And then in comes Andre consoling Ashley as per usual. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our recap.
All right, nicely done.
I did say it'd be very quick.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. All right. Let's go in order.
All right.
Comedy moment of the week.
I didn't have one, but it also technically is yours because. But it's more. It's my comedy moment. While it does tie into yours, it's more of the reaction to what your comedy moment is.
Well, yes, it's the whole thing. So, my comedy moment of the week is just after just after Chelsea and Kat move into Danny's guest house, and they've got everything all set up, and they're trying to figure out what they're going to do for the afternoon. And in comes Andre. Danny, where you at, woman? And then walks around the corner, and the two cousins are sitting there like, Andre? And Andre just like, And so he's like, yeah, I was just looking for your mother. And they're like, explain yourself and how'd you get onto the property? Do you have a key? They start interrogating him. Andre makes an escape as fast as he possibly can.
Which is so interesting because he said something that's like, I am not related to you. I am related to Ted by de facto Kat, but I am not a Dupree by any form of extension. And I was like, okay, so you're really trying to just elaborate that you can sleep with Danny because you're not related to her in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, because they were like, what's up, cousin? He's like, I'm not your cousin. Let's see. And then he just broke down the family tree, I guess, in case there were viewers out there who weren't sure. So that was interesting. And then when he left, the girls just started giggling, and they're like,
your mom and Andre
hitting the sheets? And Chelsea isn't even bothered. She's like, hey, my mom's got to do,
I don't even think Kat was bothered either.
Well, no, Kat definitely wasn't. But if anybody was to be bothered, it would be Chelsea, because that's her mother. And she was just like, get it, Mom. Go, didn't even blink.
Didn't blink.
So that just made me laugh the way he came in there and then came up short, just like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, he didn't get the memo.
No, he did not. All right. Next on our list is What Had Me Hot?
Kat and Jacob.
Every day.
For me, it's mainly just Jacob because I'm like, my man, how are you still with Kat telling her all this information? How?
And for me, it's the other side. It's Kat. Like, sit your tail down. I definitely understand wanting to go after somebody who has messed with your family.
Yes, totally.
I understand the speed of justice is very slow.
Totally.
I get it. But what you just don't seem to grasp is the more you meddle, when she gets brought to task, the less likely it will stick because you've had your stupid little fingers in there the whole time.
Right? You're not a civilian. You're a civilian. You're not a detective. You're not a police officer. You're not any form of law enforcement that would be like, not even unquestionable, just like, no one's going to question you helping out in this case. Mm-hmm. They're going to be like, oh yeah, Jacob needed help with the case, so he called so-and-so, whatever. Like,
it don't make sense.
You're a civilian, very invested, and you just keep screwing up left, right, and center.
Yep, definitely. I'm actually going to move one of my items because I realized I don't have it in the right section, and it's really a What Had Me Hot.
Oh.
And this is when Vernon is speaking to Martin in the club, and he's showing him whatever picture
or video.
Yeah, whatever it is he's showing him on the phone. And he's like, yeah, your grandmother's having a high old time over in Chicago. Anita Williams and the Articulates are back. And I was just like, hey. Anita Williams and the Articulates? I don't think that was ever their name.
Nope.
I think the three of them combined were the Articulates. So your role, that would explain why Tracy and Sharon are so angry. Why? What? Sir, if that's what she's out there doing... I mean, I'm not really here for the whole thing. I don't think the motives are right. I think I said last week's podcast, it's like, focus on the friendship.
Yep.
That's the part that really matters to you, and the music will come afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyway, that could tie into another category about people forcing things, but I'm going to leave that for now.
Right. And that also, that's another reason why I'm like, the fact that they agreed to the concert and then immediately rushed over to Chicago is like, fix your friendship first.
Absolutely. Ulterior motives tend to bring things down, is my experience. But anyway. Okay, I know you have a who called for that.
Yes. So, there are characters in this show that we're just kind of sick and tired of, i.e. Stalker Man Diego, Stalker Man Andre. But when it comes to Andre, we're like, you're not that bad compared to Stalker Man Diego. And there are moments when we don't see the characters for a certain amount of time, and somebody, namely my mother, decides to invoke their name one too many times, and then the next thing you know, they appear on the show. So
Beetlejuice is
yes,
all I'm gonna say there.
Basically, because we hadn't seen Detective Malone for weeks, and we were good with that. And then she invoked his name too many times, and he popped up in this week's episode twice. So I say twice, this week's episode. This week's series of episodes. Twice.
Yeah, I'm with you. I still don't want to see him. I would have just been happy with whatever throwaway line he got transferred out to Chicago.
He retired.
They sent him to Canada. Whatever. And I know, but that's always the thing with the States, right? They don't send nobody nowhere else but Canada.
Is Maryland, D.C. even close to us?
Yeah, it's not that far.
Ooh. Why is it always close to us?
I mean, it's not on the border or anything like that, but it's not far.
Still, why is it always close to us? I'm like, with General Hospital there in New York, they're right there. Right there, so and they always pop over to the border.
D.C. is about as far from Canada as New York, so...
Just don't come to Canada. We don't want your foolishness.
I'm just saying, I didn't really want to see him, but it drives me nuts to have drop storylines. Just tie it up somehow. It don't even have to be a neat bow. Just, close it off. You mentioned it, you brought it up, finish it.
Also, I just find it so interesting because I'm like, this man is supposed to be Jacob's partner, and they're not together at any point in time.
No.
It's like
which he kind of explained in the conversation he had with Smitty at the end of the week, so...
Still.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't even consult him is more the thing. It's like, you got a partner. You don't consult your partner? Especially...
No, for real.
Like, when I'm watching... Like, when I first started Chicago PD, for example, I'm like, Adam Ruzek was partnered with Alvin Olinsky. Alvin was on the force for God knows how many decades. Adam consulted Alvin quite a bit. Well,
listen, Jacob tried to consult him. And Malone just really wasn't here for it. He just like, okay, little, whatever. Yeah. So, let's jump to the Delulu of the week because we had a few.
Okay, so... For me, I'm just going to be real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Jacob talking to Kat because I'm like, sir, shut your mouth. She's not a cop. She's not a DA. Like, she should not be in on this investigation.
I'm revealing the whole case.
Mm-hmm. Derek proposing, thinking that was a good point in time to do that because, your relationship with Ashley is like solid, man. Solid. Like, y'all are strong. Perfect time to propose.
Nope.
Yeah, if y'all can tell the sarcasm. Yeah, no, that was... I don't know what he thought.
Woo.
It's like y'all just got out... Like, you had an accident. You moved in together. You were struggling with the move-in. So you move out. And then you try to get things back to the way they were. And, get back into the actual, like, we're properly dating. Which, I'm like, good on you, Derek. Try to rekindle that thing you had. You went on y'all went on 2 dates at Orpheus, and you immediately jumped to the let's get married. No.
Well, that is
not
I don't get that. Things are strange in a relationship, and it was almost like let's have a baby was the other thing that we see. I was like, what? I really wish that the BTG writers had chosen a different plot device.
Yeah, that wasn't. It's not great. It's like, if your relationship is rocky, getting married, having a baby, moving in together, these things do not fix a relationship. If anything, it makes it worse because they're strenuous. They're, like, they take up too much of your time. Like, no. You want your relationship to be... You want to fix your relationship, you need to do smooth, easy things.
Yeah, like, and you know what? He didn't want to hear.
No,
Naomi tried to tell him, not sure this is the best idea, But also, on the other side of the coin is Ashley. Like, how Ashley went from whatever situation they were in to now he wants to break up with me. Like, I don't even understand how her mind went there.
I don't know either. Like, something... It's weird, because when you think about, like, how they were at the very beginning of the show... And again, this is before Derek's accident, because, like...
Well, you said the very beginning.
Yeah, because I'm, like... Because I can't remember who said if it was Ashley, if it was Andre, but one of them said it's, like... you had, like, a brush... You had a life or death experience, and then...
That was Naomi.
Right. It's, like, you have an almost brush with death, and now all of this, and it's, like... Because when we... Oh, my goodness. When the show first started, you could see Ashley and Derek were solid. Like, yes, Ashley was tired. She just started her new job, and Derek was doing all this. But it's like, we didn't know the characters, but we're like, yeah, your relationship's solid. You've been together for however long. And then Derek had his accident, and it's like, okay, so I'm guessing this is I almost died. I can't live without you. Kind
from
of
his perspective,
right?
And then from her perspective is you almost died. I just can't put myself. You know, like when you're married to a cop, right? It's the same thing, firefighter. You're always running into the line of danger. I don't know if I can live with that, which is fine. Mm-hmm. I don't know that she's realized it for herself to be able to articulate that to Derek,
right?
But I also just the whole scene. I don't know if it's the actors. I don't know if it's the writing. It's just not gelling properly for me. It's like very separate pieces, and they're just tacked on together, and there's not really a joining thread.
Like, yeah,
it's not a smooth flow. No, it's not cohesive at all. And so I'm just confused most of the time. It's like, just get off. And I find Derek, the actor, is delivering these lines in such a stilted way. Like, we really do need to talk about this. And maybe we'll have time at the end of this podcast. Like, there's just some actors who aren't delivering the way I want it delivered, and it's uncomfortable as a viewer. Like, anyway, I will just leave that for there.
No, I hear you, because even I'm like, and this is more towards Ashley, because the entire time, especially when she was talking to Andre, she's like, she was terrified that Derek was going to break up with her. And it's like, why would he take me to, like, a fancy restaurant, have me get dolled up?
Is that
like,
something that kids really do these days?
I hope not.
Like, that, because that's something she said, and I was just like...
I really hope not. But as she said...
You made me put on my clothes, and this is something you were saying.
Right, and she said, she's like, you know, if we're out in public, you can't create a scene, because it's embarrassing. But it's like, no. In some cases, no. You thought you could bring me to an expensive restaurant, get me dressed up, dolled up, like... shave my legs, as some people say, and thinking tonight is going to be like a wonderful night, and you break my heart, and you think just because we're at a fancy restaurant, I'm not going to make a scene?
Listen,
like,
I can't.
But either way, it's like, no, if you want to break up with me, like, I'm like, I don't know how she got this logic, but seriously, it's like, if you want to break up with someone, like, I hope to God you don't actually, like, you know what, the restaurant's going to be a good place. Like, just show up at that house, have a phone call, and just be like, look, I think...
Take me to a park.
Right. It's like, I think this isn't working. I think we should break up. That way, I don't have to be like... That way I can go home in my pajamas, put on a sad movie, eat my ice cream, and bawl my eyes out. Like, I don't have to, you know, put on my good clothes and whatnot.
Although, if I already have all my good clothes, I'll go dance and be like, well, thank you for having the decency to not continue to waste my time. Different perspectives, the difference of the ages. I mean, it depends on how invested I am in the relationship.
Right,
as well.
But then again, they tend to get mad because it's like,
yeah, well,
this is not the reaction I expected, and it's like, did you think I was going to scream and cry in front of all these people? Which is technically kind of what Ashley did. She didn't scream, but she definitely cried.
Yeah, it was weird.
But
I
anyway,
get it.
But anyway, the point I was initially trying to make before I kind of tangented off that was that the entire time Ashley was talking, she was like totally afraid. She's like, oh my God, he's gonna break up with me. And so she went there, as she said to Derek, because like, I came here prepared for you to break up with me. And I think that in like just the entire mindset, she's like, this is gonna happen, we're gonna break up, and that just set the whole mood for the rest of the night. She couldn't even, like, I get where she's coming from. It's like, I'm not ready, and so I can't even take the ring, and we'll push off the engagement for however many years. Like, I just can't take the ring. But I think aside from that, all of it was just like, we're breaking up tonight. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's like, we're breaking up.
So you think she made it happen because that's what was in her mind?
Right.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah,
she
I
set
think
herself
that's
up. Her basically.
But Derek even said to her, just take the ring because almost like a promise ring, right? Symbol of our commitment. I'm not asking you to marry me tomorrow,
right?
Just to know that I intend to marry you when we're ready. And I guess as you're saying, she couldn't make the mental pivot to even accept that. So,
but I do, the one prop I can give to Ashley is saying, "Hold up, wait," when he tried to put the ring on her.
Yeah, I would give her that.
It's like, let's see how it looks. Like, I didn't say yes. Don't put that thing on me.
Well, like she was going to because she started bringing up
she
her
did, and then she stopped.
Yeah,
because I'm like, if you put that on me, you're gonna freak out thinking I said yes and I didn't say anything.
Yeah,
it's like don't do it.
And in fact, she told him don't do it before he even started with his message. She did.
Sorry, no, that was more in the sense of started with the message.
Yeah.
So like you said, and we were still on the Delulu. So like we said, Derek proposing, Jacob talking to Kat, and in this one, lastly for me, Ted, when he offered the job to Eva to replace Kat, he said, "Oh, Kat will train you in all the stuff that she does for the practice, and who knows, maybe this will get you and Kat closer and reconcile." I'm like, no. Ted, I know you have faith in your children, but you don't know the daughter you raised, because
not gonna happen. Not anytime soon.
No. Like, Kat, and that's why I find interesting. Kat says she will never consider Eva her sister, and I'm like, we all know how soap opera goes. She will eventually. The question is, what will it take for her to consider them sisters?
Agreed. My Delulu of the week is Vernon. Vernon in his conversation with Martin, and Martin is more freaked out than we've seen him yet. And Vernon's like, I paid the guy off. He left the country. He's not coming back. And I'm thinking, Vernon, have you, even in the soap operas, like, we know y'all watch TV sometimes. Have you never seen a movie? We know. You can't pay off the blackmailer. They will come back when they run out of money. What are you thinking?
And if they don't, I'm like, good on the blackmailer.
Sure.
Smart investments. You're just like, I got my money, I'm done. Like,
right? But notwithstanding, you just saw Leslie crawl out from under whatever rock or out of whatever snake pit she was in.
And that was 20 years. How is that
not in the forefront of your mind?
Like, seriously, I'm like, the woman was gone for 20 years. And she came back.
Yep.
And got paid off again, and she still didn't leave.
And that was just an average Joe. Martin's a senator. Or a congressman, rather.
Martin's a congressman. And not only that, it's like, it's been 2 years.
Martin is the gift that will keep on giving. Come on. Stop it. So, yeah, that was crazy. All right.
And also with that preview for next week, it's like, based off what you say, Vernon, I guess whoever's keeping an eye on him didn't do a good job.
Yeah, he might be dead somewhere. When's the last time you heard from him? All right.
It's like, did you tell him I need weekly check-ins?
Villain of the week?
I didn't have one.
I'm sort of putting Mona in there, and only because I like Mona. I really like the character of Mona. But there was a moment, and Leslie called her out on it. Mona's playing like this kind of holier than thou, and even that's a bit of a stretch. But Mona's outraged about how Leslie lied to her, betrayed her trust, and then Mona turns around and throws in with Kat, and brings Leslie to Orphe Jeans, this subterfuge, this hidden motive, which was to get the DNA. And she had, let Leslie believe that she was going to forgive her when she had no intention whatever of doing so. And but I guess I'll give Mona a little bit of credit because she just couldn't keep it up all that long. Like, she just flipped back. She's like, my stomach is turning. Like, Leslie, look, let's not play games. I'm never going to forgive you. Get out of my face.
Right. I think it was
just so venomous. It wasn't regretful. Like, I'm trying, Leslie. I hear your side of the story, but I'm just not at that place.
Right.
No, Mona was just like, nope, get out.
I think it's also like here's a taste of your own medicine. You lied, you tricked, so... Yeah,
it was just a nasty deal. So, I mean, villain is a bit strong, but since we have the category, Mona's the only person, because there really wasn't a lot of villainy going on this week, I didn't think.
No, not really.
Okay, hero of the week.
I'm giving it to Laura, because not only is she... like, already it's very clear she's like, I don't think Eva's the one who tried to run me off the road, so that aside, but still, I think Laura does believe it was Eva's mom. So, but regardless of that, Laura's like, you know, even though what you did was dirty and shady, and I can't really forgive you for what you did to them, like, you still, like, you did try to stop it, even though it was a little too late, but you did try to stop it. You are trying to make amends with the people who you hurt. And while I was away, you did do an amazing job helping Nicole out and everything. And so I don't know if Laura would be open to being friends with Eva, at least not right now, but there definitely is a cordialness between them. And I do appreciate the fact that Laura was like, look, I totally get how you feel about Nicole and, you know, wanting her to forgive you and just making amends, because it's like I know how they are. It's like they bring you in, they treat you like family, and you get sucked in, and it's great. And so to betray them like that, it hurts. But I tell you this, like, once Nicole is, like, there and on your side, it's like, yeah, she's mad at you, but it will take some time, but she will eventually forgive you. And it's like, so I like that Laura had that talk with Eva. She's like, yeah, I'm not, like, yeah, you did a dirty thing. We're not going to beat around the bush on that. You know it. I know it. The whole town knows it. It is what it is. But you're trying. You're showing, like, you've made your apologies. You said it, and you're actually putting action to those words. And I think Nicole sees that action, and she will forgive you. It just depends on how long it takes. But she will get there, and I think you guys can get back to that same place that you were before. Yeah. It'll be different, but you'll still be in that place again. And I'm just like, good on you, Laura.
Yeah, I can get behind that. And exactly as you said, Laura is almost willing to facilitate the encounters between the two women, because she also pointed out Nicole misses you. Even though Nicole is angry and she hasn't come out and said so, it's very clear that she values you, or did value you as a person, and she misses the relationship that you had. So, yeah.
I do also...
And I actually do think... Sorry, I'll let you finish.
I do like how, like, Laura did ask Nicole, it's like, would you be opposed to, like, Eva coming over and helping me with the system? If not, like, I get you probably don't want her in the house, so I can meet her somewhere else. I just want it because I didn't want to, like, invite her over, you find out, and you get mad. And Nicole's like, Laura, it's fine. It is okay. I'm going out, so it is totally fine if you ask Eva to come for some help. It was interesting because the entire time Eva was there, I was waiting for Mona to walk in and be like, what the hell are you doing here?
Or Kat.
Not even Kat. I was really waiting for Mona. Kat was doing whatever she was doing. I was really waiting for Mona to walk in. But overall, I do like that Laura asked and was totally prepared for her to say no and be like, I just needed for help, not anything else.
Yeah. And Nicole had said that she'd already made her peace with Eva anyway.
Right.
Was the other thing.
Right. But still, it's nice to, you know, it's like, I know you're still...
It was respectful, yeah.
Because also, Laura didn't know they had made peace yet. So it's just like, I don't know where you stand, but I don't want to cross any boundaries.
Yep. No, I agree with you there. And I was going to say, I do think Laura is open to a friendship. There was something that happened, I can't quite remember. But I think she is open to a friendship. It may take time. But yeah, I think Laura and Eva... developing a friendship might be the bridge to everybody else, right? Because it started off where Laura was super frustrated, and it was almost like bun fire upon Eva, like she messed it up, and then it was like, hold on half a second, let me look. It's like, no, actually, this makes really good sense. I just need to understand it. So that she had that clarity of mind to make that distinction. Right,
which I actually find really interesting, because when she got back, she's like, I just need to get this thing uninstalled so I can get back to the system. And then later she's just like, no, this was a good idea. I just need help figuring it out, and then we're golden. So,
exactly.
I like that.
Exactly.
So yes, Laura gets my hero of the week.
Okay, make it sassy.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I actually forgot one but it ties in. So one, Shanice just having to deal with Bill, because Shanice is like, I'm not putting up with your foolishness, and just making these comments after comments every time Bill tries to protest his physical therapy.
Yeah.
Eva, there was a point where she had walked into the country club the day she was meeting Ted for lunch, and Kat was there on the phone with whoever it was. And so Eva walks up to Kat, and rather than, you know, saying, like actually speaking and being like, hey, Kat, can we talk or whatever, she just looks at Kat with all this sass in her face and I'm going to use the Gen X version of this, since Gen Zs don't do it the same way. Or let me phrase that. The younger half of Gen Z don't do this the same way. The older Gen Zs do this. But she did the telephone to the ear thing, and then the hang up, and Kat's just looking at her like, yeah, so it's like, what are your plans for today? As she's still on the phone, and Eva's just standing there, and she's just like, hey, Kat, as she like kind of does this wave and does the motion again. It's like, the phone, hang it up. And then whoever was on the phone with Kat is unaware.
But let us be clear, because you're talking about the sale hang up the phone, right? Because it's not like the younger gens don't have it, but it was the thumb and the pinky to the ear, like an old timey time receiver, as opposed to holding a cell phone to your ear and pushing the button.
That or phone to the, like, I don't know what. And
that's a good call out, because I didn't register that, and really and truly, by rights, given that they're both supposed to be like about 21 or whatever, I'm not sure that they would know about an actual receiver. Like, that's just not a symbol.
No, they would.
You think so?
I think they would, because like I said, it's really the younger half of Gen Z. So I'd say,
you know what, and the only reason I would be inclined to disagree with you is because, as you know, about 10 years ago I was working at a school,
right?
And the kids then didn't know what a busy signal was, and they were like 13, so they would be about your age now. So
that's fair.
They didn't know busy signal, so I don't know why they would know about a receiver.
I guess because they just never got a busy signal.
I guess,
because even I knew what a busy signal sounded like.
Yes, I know, but your parents teach you things.
Fair enough, but
also, I still have a landline.
Oh my God. Don't even go there, because Gen Zs are talking about, we need a phone that stays in the house, that's just for the house.
Yeah.
No. And like I said, younger Gen Zs, because I'm like, I saw a video.
It's going to circle back. It's a pendulum.
I know, and here's the thing. I know I'm tangenting, but I'm like, I saw a video and it was like, Gen Z 26, Millennial 38, Gen X 40 whatever, and then another millennial who's like 30, and they're all just like, okay, how do you do this? So it's like, pick up the phone. See that video. I'll see if I can find it. It's like, pick up the phone, do a dance move, do a heart kind of thing. And the comments for those who are my age, so like 25 and up, were like, who are basically Gen Zs, are like, what the? We don't hold our phones like the cell phones we have of today and just hold it up to our face like we're looking in a mirror. We don't answer the phone like that. And I was so insulted, because I was like, as a 25-year-old older Gen Z, we don't do that. That's the younger generation. That's the younger half of the generation. We olders don't do that. What?
Let me FaceTime you. First of all, I have an Android, so I don't have no damn FaceTime.
Right?
But anyway.
Had me upset.
Anyways, okay.
So yes. So Eva does the motion a second time, and whoever was on the phone with Kat somehow got the telecommunication that Eva was trying to convey, because like literally not 2 seconds after Eva does it, the person's like, I gotta go. So Kat is left to talk with Eva.
Yeah.
And the third make it sassy moment for me was still Kat and Eva, but they're finishing off the conversation, and Eva says to Kat, you should take a page out of your brother's book and just accept me or get used to me. And I'm like, I would have loved it if she would have said, take a page out of our older brother's book. To really tie that in. And it's like, remember, we're sisters. You ain't getting rid of me. Like, just to really, like, yes, we share a brother. So,
absolutely.
I really would have liked it if the writers had done that instead of saying your. Because, like, he's not just hers.
Yeah. All right, so before we wrap up for today, I think we have a little time to talk about this stilted acting that I mentioned earlier, because really and truly, it's driving me nuts. And I don't know if it's because people aren't veterans, like they're brand new to acting.
They don't have traditional training like some of them, or
well, this is what I'm wondering, because and I really want to go and find videos of some of these people, because I find, as I already said, Derek is ridiculously stilted.
Tomas just doesn't give the emotion,
right? And it depends. It's like comes and goes. You have Leslie, and Mona to some extent, who are like they've been on stage.
Yeah, doing Shakespearean, like especially Leslie with her breathless and very over the top portrayals.
Yeah, but although I do think Leslie to some extent is intentional, at least as the characteristics, but it's the delivery.
Yeah,
I guess is a little bit theatrical and stage-like. Mm-hmm. And I couldn't figure out, because I thought they had said at one point that her character was an actress, but I don't know if I understood that correctly, or it's by virtue of her wearing the wigs and doing all the stupidness she does that they're calling her like chameleon and actress.
Yeah, I think it's by virtue of those things. I don't think she actually is.
Right? And then the other one that I find stilted, or other couple, Pam. Danny's friend.
Yeah. It's like she's not on screen often, but it's still kind of like...
Yeah, it's like she's a stage actress, I think. And maybe I should just look them up and see what their background is. And a little bit Vanessa.
Yeah, I was thinking Vanessa too. I just couldn't figure out what it was. But yeah,
it's something in her delivery. And the other thing is, I don't know... I don't know what the story is. Maybe overall is I find some of the delivery is ridiculously crisp. Right, they make sure and pronounce and enunciate every single letter. Oh, Martin! How could I forget Martin?
That's what I was thinking of when you said that.
Martin. Like, oh my goodness!
Because I'm thinking, like, out of all the characters and actors that we have, for me, the only one who seems like natural at it is Eva. Like she plays her character, like still very kind of ghetto, but it's still authentic. Yeah, it's natural. Like I'm not questioning like her delivery or her performance or anything. It's like I'm like I could believe you're like if I were to run into you in the world, I would think that's who you actually are if you're behaving that way, compared to like as you said Leslie or Martin. I'm just like what the.
Yeah,
I think especially for Martin, I feel like they said, okay, your role is the congressman. And it's just, that's who he is. He's like, he doesn't turn it off. Yeah.
Well, and that's it. Like, is it affected because he's a congressman? And I wonder, because when he went off in his head and he was talking to Bill and Haley.
And he code switched.
That was smooth.
I'm like, see, that
was smooth.
I'm like, that, aside from like, obviously the anger and hostility, I'm like, that's how I want Martin to be when he's not working. I want him.
Oh, you want to see him code switching? Oh
no! Not code switching per se, but just more like natural. Like that felt natural for Martin. Yeah. It didn't feel like I'm the congressman, so I must have this air about me, and I must constantly
you just want him to relax at home.
Yeah, because he always seems just tense.
Yes, he does,
and it's just like. Look at Smitty. Smitty is totally chill.
Okay, so
take a page out of Smitty's.
So then the question I have for you, because I think that's a very astute observation. He always seems tense. Could that be by virtue of the fact that A, he's not sleeping, B, he has whatever trauma that he's not processing?
It's possible because...
And that has him tense all the time?
It's entirely possible because ever since this show started, that's basically what we've been focused on involving Martin.
Yeah.
We've never known him to not be having these nightmares and all this stuff. So it's hard to say. If they had started off with, Martin just, living life, enjoying life with his family and his kids and his husband, and then gradually the nightmare started... Sure, I would be like, yeah, it's entirely possible the nightmares are making him a little more tense, so he's not,
Right, but we haven't seen that.
So it's really hard to say. Like with Nicole, I do feel she does put on a kind of air about her, but it's like especially professional. Like I find she's very professional most of the time, but when the whole anniversary party happened and it felt when she was like just going off on Ted and Leslie and Eva, it's like that. I'm like, yes, that it was like, okay, you're out of your professionalism. You're pissed. You're now like you are the scorned black woman, but still hold yourself and like, I am not putting up with your foolishness.
Right. Okay. So with Nicole, exactly. Even though she comes across professional, it's still natural. It doesn't feel forced in any way, shape, or form. And like you said, even when she was angry, to me, it was still the same kind of performance. Although she stressed her words even harder because she was so angry.
That made that performance even better.
It's like period.
Yeah.
You're right with the T. I felt that's what she was doing, but she felt the same.
I'm sorry, just because I remembered something, and I actually did have an actual comedy moment, and it slipped my mind. But it's when Danny's like, "Come, we're gonna throw some ceramic cups and get our anger out."
Yeah, I was just thinking about that.
And Nicole is like skemooey or whatever. I was like, I'm with Danny. Did you just
whatever she said?
Right. So it's like, yes,
right, exactly. So she's still kind of holding that proper, but even in that, she was still. Authentic, I thought. Right.
Even when she ran into Bill at the country club that day, and Carlton's like, "Oh yeah,
not Bill, Ted."
Thank you. When she ran to Ted at the country club, and he was talking with Carlton, and Carlton made the comments like, "Oh, if I had that wife and she's like, at least somebody's aware." It's like she was still a little, but it was still kind of like, there she is.
Yeah. Exactly. So, I mean, my understanding, and I think I've seen a little bit of her professional resume on IMDb. So she has television skills. Danny seems to. The actress that plays Danny seems to. Although I find Danny a little over the top, but she's campy, right, with the wide eyes and the cute scene.
And I feel like with what she does or what she's been through, she kind of needs to be.
Sure, yeah, and I get it. But then when she's talking to Bill and she's actually being serious, like, Bill, stop your foolishness. This is your health, right? That is very smooth, very natural.
Yeah,
Haley kind of goes back and forth, right, but also Haley, very natural. I find
for me, like, yes. I'm like, I don't know how old the actress who plays Haley actually is, but I feel like she's really, because she's supposed to be playing that like 20-some-odd-year-old who is, married to an older guy. It really does give like, you're a young person who's never acted before for me.
Really?
Yeah. So she might actually have many credits and is a phenomenal actress, but if that's the case, she's playing this role well enough for me to feel like you've never acted before.
Interesting.
You are that young new actress on the scene, and you're just getting your footing. That's how it feels for me.
And for me, it's the opposite. I think she's very experienced, but I feel it's more about the character. The character came from nothing, and she's trying to fit into this new world, and so this is the mask that she puts on every day when she goes out. That's the feeling I get from Haley. The actor that plays Bill, I think he's very experienced. He's smooth. He just smooth.
He plays very smart. He plays Smarmy very smooth.
Yes, as villainous as he is, I really like him, and I love what he's doing with the stroke and everything. And because the other day when Tomas came in with the papers, I was like, why is he not using his arm?
It's weak.
Well, I know, but it was but yeah. Anyway. Who else? Shanice seems very experienced as an actress. Andre, I'm not sure.
Yeah, Andre is kind of difficult.
Yeah, I think he is, but again, it's almost like they've been directed to perform a certain way, and it's like, well, just let the people them go.
Yeah, it's like simply enough you tell them, it's like, this is your character, this is your character's personality, and let them figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? It's like, especially when you have like the pilot episode and you have like the first few episodes, it's like, yeah, they're just getting into it. So I get it's going to be kind of a little off base. But once you've gotten the hang of your character and the personality, let them run free.
Okay, so then on the opposite side, so we know we have Tamara Tooney who plays Anita.
Yeah.
Very, very, very experienced in television.
Right. Especially with her role in Law and Order.
Right? But she was in Another World for the longest while that I grew up with. And she was phenomenal. So even her, I find, a little too many T's crossed, I's dotted, D's, G's. It's a little too precise. I don't like it, but I know she's very experienced.
Right.
Clifton Davis, who plays Vernon, I mean, I also watched him back in the day on Amen, so I know he has television chops. And this is kind of the way he's always presented himself. It doesn't work for me personally, but that's just the way he's always been.
Yeah, I'm with Anita, especially because it's kind of the same thing, I guess. And when you think about it, from what you said involving Haley, it's like she came from nothing, so she's trying to fit into this world. I think Anita's the same way because she grew up in Chicago in what they call the projects at the time. So it's like she kind of, except the difference is compared to, if you compare Haley and Anita is, Haley, even though she came from nothing, she put herself through school and got her degree and is now working at a law firm, but still essentially had nothing. Whereas Anita had nothing, got fame and stardom, so she kind of got used to the money and stuff, and then married Vernon, who again had money. So for her, it's kind of like she's the matriarch of the family and kind of holds herself as that, and so because of that, speaks in a certain way as the matriarch of the family. And I think that's what plays into it, rather than she's like, you are Anita Williams from the projects.
Well,
like, yes, I get you're now Anita Dupree, you know, matriarch of this auspicious family, but it's like, you know, you can still kind of have that little pep in your step, like when you were rapping with Naomi and
well exactly, and she kind of did, right, when Sharon and Tracy showed up, and Sharon was like going for her, and she flipped back to a quote unquote Anita Williams, right, and like you messing with the wrong somebody. And then went back to Anita Dupree. You're not going to come into my home and tell me whatever.
Right, and I'm like, I would I would really like it if, and I guess she kind of did mix the two, but it's not clear. And it's like, because I find like there's really more of a separation, and you can see that. Yeah. And it's like, for me, I'm very much someone who's like, okay, just because and Haley does this really well. It's like, just because you were grew up in this way and have shifted into this other aspect of your life, or in this other society or whatever, does not mean you should, you know, throw away who you were before, because it's that person who got you to where you were or where you are. And it's like, find a way to mold those two together, so it's more seamless. And it's like, I'm still the woman who came from this, even though I am now this.
Yeah, I did not forget where I came from.
Exactly. And it's like, I don't see that with Anita so much. I really just see, I am the matriarch of the Dupree family, whereas with Haley, you also kind of don't see her being like, I am now the new Mrs. Hamilton. She does have that, but it's more like, you see more of her, I am Haley, whatever her last name was before she got married. Don't mess with me, because I will cut you.
Yeah.
So it's like, finding a way to meld those two women together in a nice seamless way that still holds true to both those people would be really nice.
Oh, it would be. And then you have the middle generation, I'll call them. So you've got Chelsea, Kat, Naomi, Jacob. So it's like, Naomi, smooth. I'm not sure that she has any acting background. I'm sure she must. And I'm going to look it up just this week. She's fantastic. Jacob, a little stiff.
Yeah. He's like,
you know, like, and I don't know if that's from his personality. I'm not sure what's happening there.
Yeah, he delivers his lines the same way, and it's just kind of like, have some intonation in your voice.
Right?
Please.
Like, there's different speeds.
Fluctuate.
Yes, exactly. Chelsea is an interesting one. Chelsea is very smooth. Her voice is very soft and soothing. I would like to see more. I don't know what her story is as an actress. Okay. Right? And who else did I say? And Kat. Kat is another one. I think she's theatrical.
Yeah, I'm like, it's interesting because it's like, Kat, for me, obviously her role is the spoiled princess. And she does a marvelous job at that, especially with interacting with Eva. But it's also like, she gets ghetto sometimes herself. Yes, and it doesn't fit with her portrayal of, I'm the rich spoiled princess.
Exactly. There's moments where she slips, and it's like, why? Why is that happening? Exactly. That's exactly where I was going. You nailed it.
It doesn't work.
So I think we're missing pieces of the backstory that hopefully get filled in.
Right.
You know, because exactly as you say, if Kat were to come out with a "Don't get it twisted," it'd be like, excuse me? Is that what they taught you in private school? Maybe they did. I have a very distinct image of private school that I now know is not really what private school is. Nope. However, so those are my thoughts. Anyway, I'm gonna look at some of these histories. I've taken a couple of notes. Yeah. See what their background is, and maybe we'll have some time in the upcoming episodes to go through that. Because I'm just not really super invested in the stories that are happening. So we'll need more to talk about.
Right. I agree. Because even I'm kind of like, I'm falling.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, we will bid you adieu.
Yes, I hope you enjoyed today's episode and today's discussion.
Absolutely. With that, come back next week for a little bit more soaps.
And hopefully a hell of a lot more sass.
Take care, y'all.
Bye.